So there he is, stunned from the spray, writhing on the ground like a baby, when wham, I got him in the balls, bam, I hit him with my handbag, and then zang, tss, I got him with the spray again. At this point, it was like pure adrenaline. I was on fire. Once I had him subdued, I realized that the emblem on my Tory Burch handbag is sort of cross-like, so I held it up to his face, and sure enough, he was like, ah, and I was like, take that, you creature of the dark, and he was like, ah, and I was like, that's what you get for attacking women in alleys, and he was like, please, I can't help it, it's just my nature, and I was like, I don't care if it's your nature, you woman hater, and he was like, please, I don't hate women, I just want to suck your blood, and I was like, ew, and he was like, you could use to it, and I was like, really? And he was like, really? And then he started to lunge at me again because I sort of forgot to hold up my handbag. So I was like really caffeinated and my reflexes were on point. So I was like, take this. And then he was like, ah. And then I had an idea. I thought, why not take lemons and turn them into lemonade? So I was like, you scumbag vampire. And he was like, I'm really not a scumbag. And I was like, oh yeah? And he was like, yeah. And then I sprayed him with the pepper spray again, and I made him drape my handbag over his shoulder, which made him lose like all his powers. And I loaded him up into the back of the Escalade, and voila. This monologue is like a trifecta of perfection for me as an actor. One, it's comedic, and it's this very different comedic idea that I had never heard of before. Two, the comedy is driven by the female lead. She is driving all of the comedy, and the husband and the vampire are really more like the voices of reason or the straight men in this. And three, it's written by a female playwright, a contemporary female playwright called Nina Mansfield, who gave me permission to do this monologue on my channel to support her work and get more eyes on this great one-act play, Bite Me, which is part of a collection of one-act marriage plays that you can purchase and read and peruse, and then also purchase a license to produce the entire play or plays. It's a great little piece. The comedy is so unexpected. This funny idea is that this woman was attacked by a vampire in an alley, which you probably got. Earlier, her husband and her had been talking about how wouldn't it be great if they just could spend all of eternity together. But she meets this vampire and she's like, wait a second, we could spend all of eternity together if we get this vampire to turn us into vampires because they live forever. So she kidnaps the vampire and brings him home to her husband as a gift. I love how there's such a moral quandary here, right? This woman was attacked by the vampire who was gonna suck her blood. She fights back, but then she goes and kidnaps him, which generally we don't support kidnapping anybody, right? And then wants to use him in a way that will benefit her. So it's this great layered character, this really funny circumstance. And it's perfect for Halloween week, which is when I'm publishing this. Of course, you could be watching it at any time. If you liked this monologue, please give it a like and then subscribe to the channel to come back and see even more funny or spooky or great monologues in the 1000 Monologues Challenge. Thank you so much.